from August the 20th, Discovery explores underwater realms. Seaworld guides us through some of our planet's most beautiful landscapes and meets some of its inhabitants along the way. Just some of the highlights for August on Discovery.
Now it's time to join the McKennies in their search for the sharks of Pirate Island.
The hammerhead shark. For 120 million years, these creatures of the deep have patrolled the coast of Mexico. Man is still in awe of these grotesque and menacing fish. Down the years, seafarers have told of the shark's deadly powers. "20 years ago, deep-sea explorer Jack McKenny set out for Mexico's Sea of Cortez. His mission, to record the movements of the hammerhead shark. The dive would be a challenge. Few had ever captured the elusive hammerhead on film. Every time a diver using breathing apparatus released his air bubbles, entire schools of hammerheads would disappear, driven away by the noise. But Jack McKenny worked out a way to control his breathing, and so to capture on film remarkable close-ups of the hammerhead shark. Paleontologists believe hammerheads first appeared 120 million years ago, during the Cretaceous period. Today, 9 species are known to exist. The Mokoran, the largest, can attain a fearsome length of almost 20 feet. Experienced underwater cameraman Marty Snyderman recalls his first hammerhead encounter.
The first time I was ever in a big school of hammerheads was in a place called the El Bajo Seamount in Mexico's Sea of Cortez. And of all the sights I've ever seen underwater, I mean, it's a staggering sight. There are dozens or hundreds of hammerheads, and they just keep coming and keep coming and keep coming. And it's so foreign, you think, you can't help but think, I'm in the middle of hundreds of sharks. You can't believe you're there. It gets closer and closer and closer, and all of a sudden you exhale and the whole thing disappears. The bubbles scare the sharks, they vanish into the distance, and you think, was it real?
Sharks are usually solitary, yet by day, hammerheads swim in schools numbering 100 or more. "20 years after Jack McKenny's dive in the Sea of Cortez, his only son John prepares to return to the place of his father's epic dive. He too wants pictures of the elusive hammerhead. He and his wife and diving partner Noreen will push the limits of their diving ability against the strong currents around the El Bajo Seamount.
Too much current.
Bien.
After checking their cameras, they begin their deep descent. The plan is to dive to 110 feet. There, they will wait as long as they can for a passing school. Finally, with air running low, a hazy image of hammerheads appears silhouetted against the surface, perhaps 75 or 100 yards away. The sight of these sharks swimming in graceful formation thrills John and Noreen. But despite their best efforts to keep pace, the McKennies are too far away, and within moments, the sharks vanish. Exhausted and almost out of air, the couple make for the surface. John is the first on board.
Looked up and all I could see is silhouettes of about 300 hammerheads up above us.
The McKennies tell the story to dive leader Rocio Lozano.
But you could definitely tell that they were frightened. They were frightened.
Yeah, you see.
Yeah,
you see?
they didn't like
And
the
I was trying to tell you, don't chase them. Let them get going. Because if you chase them, I mean, you are going up, so you can hold your breath. And if you go up and you chase them, they'll just go away.
What would they have done? Would they have stayed if we didn't chase them?
They can keep their own route.
John McKenny faces the same problem as his father 20 years ago. The bubbles from their breathing apparatus scares off the sharks. If the McKennies want pictures, they must cut down the noise. John's father managed it, but could he and Noreen repeat the process?
We're going to go into the bell first, and then come back up, surface, and then do our second dive.
Everybody in this diving business basically knew that the business was left to me, and so everybody was sitting around waiting to see what was going to happen. It was probably a good 6 months later that, after he died, that we were on location, shooting a film. And I made mistakes like you can't even imagine. But, you learn by making mistakes.
In the United States, the McKennies visit Eddie Paul, an inventor and stunt coordinator with experience in over 100 feature films. Eddie has built everything from exotic cars to a mechanical great white shark. Now he's working on a new invention, a scuba muffler, designed to work like an aerator stone in an aquarium. The muffler acts as a filter, transforming large bubbles into small ones. Eddie had been working on the device for almost 10 years when he first noticed that the silent world of diving was anything but silent. He watched experienced underwater cameramen trying to hold their breath while filming, one of the most dangerous things a diver can do. Time after time, exhaling underwater cameramen scared off their subjects with the noisy sound of the regulator. Eddie's early designs had faults. Any device that breaks down bubbles creates resistance in the airflow, resistance that could force a diver to breathe heavily and become exhausted too quickly. The scuba muffler's patented design overcame this problem by placing the muffler slightly above and behind the diver's head. The difference in pressure allows the air to flow out easily. Equipped with the new muffler, John turns to his father's longtime friend, Marty Snyderman, for advice on the best location to film hammerheads. They decide on Cocos Island. Cocos Island is an uninhabited jungle-covered mountain 300 miles off the Pacific coast of Costa Rica. It's an ancient volcanic island with steep cliffs and spectacular waterfalls, now a protected Costa Rican national park. But its fame dates back to the 1500s, when it served as a shipping port and for buccaneers and ocean brigands who pillaged the Spanish galleons of the Pacific. 2 centuries of pirates buried gold and silver coins, fabulous gems, and ancient golden ingots beneath the island's tropical forests. Fortunes valued today at millions of pounds. But despite 300 expeditions and a century of searching, not one buccaneer's treasure has ever been unearthed. The island's dead men told no tales. Fresh water drew the pirates here. Rainfall on the island averages 230 inches per year, supporting more than 200 species of animals and 70 varieties of plants found nowhere else in the world. Cocos Island is a treasure of natural beauty above and below the sea. Cocos Island is home to the dangerous Hammerhead shark, the legendary guardian of sunken pirate treasure.
Dry land is not just our destination, it is our destiny!
On a planet once called Earth, a child holds the secret to survival. And a lone man
He'll come for me, he will.
is her only hope.
I want the girl.
Kevin Costner, Waterworld.
Have you seen my razor?
I think it's on the cabinet.
Okay. Whose is that?
It's nothing to do with me.
What do you think you're playing at?
It's not mine. Don't look at
I
me.
thought we told you to be careful.
John, I think we're the ones who should have been careful.
There may be trouble ahead, but while there's moonlight and music and love and romance, let's face the music and dance.
If your family suddenly grows, so too will your responsibilities. That's why Allied Dunbar financial plans adapt, so you can face the unexpected.
Let's face the music and dance.
Allied Dunbar, for the life you don't yet know.
Getting home is one thing, but until I've taken my face off, I still feel I'm wearing the day. So you've heard this before.
That's why new Cleansing Milk and Toner in One works in 2 ways. It cleanses thoroughly, and then it brings a fresh rosiness back to your skin.
Cleansing Milk and Toner in One, new from the Pond's Institute.
And it doesn't just wake up my skin.
Have you seen the size of these chalky nut clusters?
Of course, I designed them. New chocolate and nut clusters from Gino Ginelli.
The freshest thing going in toothpaste is the one that comes in a tooth. The Aqua Freshest Yet. Aqua Fresh Gel with fluoride. The toothpaste in a tooth.
An adventure through the kingdom of the deep. Enter Seaworld, weekdays at 4 on Discovery.
To reach Cocos Island, the McKennies begin their journey at Punta Arenas. A city of 36,000 people, it's Costa Rica's most vital Pacific coastal town. During the 19th century, it was the country's pride, the major point of export for coffee. Today, Punta Arenas is the home port of the Undersea Hunter, a 90-foot vessel made famous in the James Bond thriller License to Kill. The McKennies, along with diving partner Marty Snyderman, arrived from the Costa Rican capital of San Jose to the dock of the Undersea Hunter. The 180-ton vessel will transport them across open sea to the infamous island of Treasures. By 8 in the morning, they're underway. The crew begins to prepare for the dives, checking that everything is ready. The trip to Cocos is a long one, over 30 hours and 260 miles from Punta Arenas. Noreen uses the time to clean and prepare the camera filters. John and Marty discuss the prospects of the scuba muffler and the chances of finally filming the Hammerheads. Beyond the horizon, Cocos awaits. The next morning, John McKenny has an unexpected filming treat. A school of dolphins appears at the bow of the Undersea Hunter. Their antics are the first sign that land is near. Then, a tiny speck appears on the horizon. Cocos, the fabled Pirate Island. The Undersea Hunter drops anchor in Chatham Bay, and the team gets ready for their dive. Marty, an experienced diver at Cocos, talks about what lies ahead.
Over the years, I've seen 5 species of sharks here. Whale sharks, hammerhead sharks, silkies, silver tips, and of course the reef white tips. And there just aren't very many places throughout the Pacific that you're going to see that many different kinds of sharks on such a consistent basis. This place is really wild.
This is Noreen McKenny's first dive in the shark-filled waters of Cocos. But she's no stranger to these expeditions, joining her filmmaking husband on his underwater adventures.
I personally have never been in a situation where I have felt threatened underwater. John has felt that I was threatened underwater and made me get out of the water and get on the boat because he was fearful for my life or myself. But I've never felt threatened underwater by a shark.
A specially designed diving boat called a ponga takes them to their first location, Shark Fin Rock. The water is teeming with blackjacks, whose school numbers thousands. They swarm around the divers. Blackjacks are found throughout the Pacific, easily identifiable by their black stripes. When spawning, the males turn completely black. Swimming deeper, Noreen sights a cave brimming with marine life. Marty spots the first great find, 4 white-tipped sharks disturbed from their sleep on the sandy bottom. Though not usually aggressive towards humans, whitetips have attacked when cornered or provoked.
The truth is, I think in a situation where you back the white-tip reef shark up in a hole, that animal's probably a lot more scared than you are. It's an unnatural situation for the shark. It knows absolutely nothing about you, and all of a sudden you've cornered the animal.
Marty pursues a whitetip deeper into the cave as it weaves its way in and out of the dark, barren crevices of this undersea cavern. Whitetips are a common predator of the reef at the top of its complex food chain. Favorites among their prey include fish and invertebrates such as octopus and squid. When fully grown, a whitetip will be 6 feet long or more. While these sharks are common in the Indian and Pacific Oceans, little is known of the white-tip reef shark, a species that is largely nocturnal, often passing the days hidden, sleeping in caves to avoid the ocean's relentless aquatic parade.
Well, I think one of the commonly accepted myths about sharks is that they all have to swim 24 hours a day, every day of their life, or they're going to die instantly. And certainly that is the case with some sharks. They have to keep swimming or they'll sink to the bottom. But it's certainly not true of all sharks. White-tip reef sharks, for example, that you see at Cocos Island, you'll often see them resting on the sand. And that's typical during the daytime. And they're thought of as a very docile creature. But at night, these animals are really rather voracious hunters.
This is a marble ray, a stunning evolutionary cousin of the shark. A master merging with its environment, the marble rays of Cocos can grow up to 7 or more feet wide.
When we arrived at Cocos, we expected to see a lot of sharks, but we were also surprised by the huge marble rays. There were hundreds of them. The sight is something I'll always remember about Cocos.
Unlike their cousin, the stingray, a marble ray's tail has no venom to disable an attacker. Yet they move without fear, gliding almost effortlessly through the water. There's plenty for the divers to see, but the elusive hammerhead is nowhere to be found.
Because Cocos is a national park, I think these waters have been pretty well protected, and the populations of sharks and other marine life have really held fairly constant, and it's obviously a pretty healthy, alive place, and the whole food chain is out here.
Back on board, the crew of the Undersea Hunter prepares a freshly caught yellowfin tuna for dinner. Later, Marty, John and Noreen will attempt to film the whitetips at night when the sharks are known to be more aggressive.
Marty, with your experience here at Cocos, what can we expect to see with regard to the white-tip reef sharks at night rather than in the daytime?
John, they're really a different animal at night. They're really voracious, very active hunters. And I think what they'll do is we'll see them cruising along the bottom, pretty close to the bottom, but they're hunting for small fishes, and they'll either hit the fish or sometimes they'll hit it and chase them into a hole.
Yeah.
The fish will start to get away, and they've got a long, thin, supple body, and the sharks will really try to dig underneath the coral heads and root around, and they kind of lock onto the fish, and they really go after it.
You were talking about the coral heads. We are bringing cable down there. What kind of trouble will we have as far as handling the cable underwater?
It may be a bit of a challenge. I think we'll need to be pretty mobile. These sharks may cover a lot of ground and do so fairly quickly because they're going to be chasing their prey. Okay. So I think we'll just try to keep that cable coiled and swim as fast as we can, as long as we can, do the best we can.
Have you seen him hit fish before?
I have. I've never filmed it well.
Yeah.
But I think we have a chance to do it.
Okay,
there's certainly a lot of white tips around, and who knows?
Yeah, it's exciting.
Great.
It's exciting. All right.
As dusk settles over the island, the undersea hunter sets course for Wafer Bay and a daring nighttime dive. Under a tropical moon, the deck-mounted crane of the undersea hunter has lowered the ponga into the water. Designed originally as a support vessel for the Perry Oceanographic Corporation, the hunter's custom equipment is perfectly suited to the needs of this night dive. It will require substantial power to support the 5,000-watt lights necessary for filming. Their first underwater encounter is the extraordinary flounder, which lies on the ocean floor. It flattens as it grows. A conch shell travels across the white sand, which has been created by the constant action of fish chewing away at the reef's coral. Blinded by the lights, a parrotfish gets a nasty surprise from one of the long-spined urchins. The moray eel is another Cocos Island resident. Though generally not aggressive towards humans, they act threatening to any intruder, fish or man, that comes within reach. Suddenly, a single white tip cuts through the darkness, attracted by the bait the divers have placed among the coral on the bottom. Remaining within the circle of light, it doesn't display threatening behavior. Like all sharks, the white tips have the same 5 senses as humans. They have excellent scent, sight, sound, taste, and touch. But unlike us, they have additional senses that give them extraordinary abilities. These abilities allow the shark to search out and devour its prey, even in the jet-black void of the ocean bottom. Cruising along the coral heads, the white tip will home in on its meal. Its role in the marine ecosystem is to eliminate the sick and injured, assuring only the survival of the fittest. One sense unique to sharks is what marine biologists call distant touch, the ability to sense even small vibrations in the water up to 100 feet away. Even in total darkness, a shark can avoid collisions with stationary objects, and quickly detect a disturbance in the water with remarkable accuracy. Sharks are also highly sensitive to minute electromagnetic fields. Sensitive even to 1/1,000,000th of a watt, they can detect movements as subtle as the flapping of a gill.
They were so aggressive when they went after the fish in the crevice. The difference in these sharks between night and day was amazing. Just being down there, you could feel a whole different energy level. But you get so caught up in the action that you forget no one's watching your back.
With hungry sharks about, the danger of the night dive intensifies. The divers, now surrounded by sharks, will have to determine quickly how much longer they can safely film. The night stalkers of Cocos Island have paid little attention to the earthbound invaders of their domain. The divers have shot all their film, and air supplies are nearly exhausted. They make their long ascent back to the surface. Tomorrow, the three will travel to a new location, where with the help of the scuba muffler, they hope to finally capture the hammerheads on film. Morning brings the familiar sound of rain to Cocos Island. The crew have time to collect their thoughts.
I think the thing that makes Cocos so exciting is when you get in the water, you don't really know exactly what you're going to see, but you have this feeling you don't get in so many other places that whatever it is, it's going to be big, it's going to be exciting, perhaps it's going to be pretty unusual. And there aren't very many places like this left on planet Earth, and it's exciting to have an opportunity to come out here to dive.
Soon after the shower passes, the captain of the undersea hunter spots two humpback whales breaking the surface. The McKennies and crew race to the launches in the hope of getting a closer look. Cocos Island offers a protected environment for humpbacks. Here they can mate, give birth, and raise their young. Calves are born in winter in these tropical waters. They will remain close to their mothers for most of their first year and sometimes into the second. Their scientific name, Megaptera novengelia, means great-winged creature of New England, a name dating back to American whalers who sometimes spotted humpbacks by their telltale white flippers. These flippers are the longest appendages in the animal kingdom, sometimes reaching 16 feet in length, 1/3 of the length of their bodies. Only 12,000 of these remarkable mammals are left in the world's oceans.
To me, the most incredible feeling I've ever had underwater is photographing whales. These beautiful animals are so big, they're as big as a freight train. And I often wonder, how could something so big make no noise?
In the legends of sea lore, manta rays are often referred to as devilfish, and they have often been thought of as being quite dangerous animals, but nothing could be further from the truth. A large manta ray may be 18 to almost 20 feet across, and to watch them glide out of the edge of visibility to come right up to you, they are so graceful, and they're one of those animals that you just realize how well they're designed for a life out here in the marine environment and how inadequately or poorly we're equipped to be out here with them.
The McKennies spot hunters anchored in Chatham Bay. The fishing boat appears to be in poor condition. Concerned about what they see, the divers launch the Ponga to investigate. The lines strung out above the small boat's deck are filled with fins, stripped from a variety of sharks that frequent the island. The increasing wealth of the Pacific Rim has created a surge in demand for these fins, often used in shark fin soup, an Asian delicacy costing up to £30 a bowl. That demand has driven shark fisheries into a frenzy. Killing sharks is big business. It's illegal to fish commercially anywhere within 3 miles of Cocos Island. But gill netters, like these, can occasionally be found fishing a few hundred yards of Cocos, where hammerheads swim in dense schools. One night's catch from these fishing trawlers can wipe out a significant portion of the hammerhead population. And so, afraid of exposure, the fishermen hurriedly weigh anchor to escape the camera's eye. As the divers witness these modern-day pirates leaving, they wonder if the fishermen have destroyed their chances of seeing the hammerheads.
There's no question that worldwide we are overexploiting and overfishing sharks, and we're taking more sharks out of the ocean than sharks can't reproduce as fast as we're killing them. And it bothers me. It's such a needless waste of a resource. And if there's anything I could do professionally with the rest of my life, I think I'd like to be a spokesperson for the marine environment.
Tomorrow, the McKennies will launch one last dive in search of the hidden hammerheads of Cocos Island.
For hundreds of thousands of years, it has been man's most basic instinct to protect. And no other insurance company protects more of the things that are important to you than Norwich Union. Norwich Union. No one protects more.
Keep cool. Buy an Oasis.
Watch the incredible and hear the
impossible
3D phonic from JVC.
B is for body. Strong. Supple. I is for iron. V for vitamins. No cereal is richer. L, low in fat. T is for taste. Delicious sweet rice and malt. K is for breakfast. Kellogg Special K.
If you want beautiful hair, there's Organics, the only shampoo with glucosil, a natural nutrient which nourishes your hair's living roots. The results are a revelation. Your hair shines with health and beauty. Organics, the root-nourishing shampoo from the Alida Hair Institute, for hair that shines with living beauty.
As time goes by, you notice skin losing firmness and fine lines appearing here on the surface. So what can we do? Clinical tests prove that a new cream from Oil of Ulay can help. Enriched with vitamin E and ceramides, it enhances the unique natural springs found at the surface of the skin to help restore the feeling of firmness and smooth away the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles in under 14 days. And the name? Wrinkle Smoothing Cream from Oil of Ulay.
New. Double action Maclean's mouth guard for sensitive teeth.
Now that is a relief.
When a headache strikes, Nurofen knows how to release you fast and effectively.
If you've got a passion for motoring, whether it's the sheer speed of the McLaren F1, the brilliant new generation of 140-mile-an-hour super diesels, or the secrets behind Judge Dredd's sinister Last Car on Earth, watch Driving Passion.
Indulge yourself tomorrow at 8:30 on Discovery.
On the final morning of the expedition, the undersea hunter weighs anchor and sets course for the northeastern tip of Cocos Island. For days, the underwater crew have seen a wealth of sea creatures, but only in the blue, hazy distance have they caught a glimpse of the hammerheads that brought them here. The captain of the undersea hunter has selected Budweiser Western as their final dive site, a wide bay named in honor of Julian A. Weston, who dedicated much of his life to the research and investigation of this famous pirate island. Here, beneath the shadow of spectacular volcanic walls and untouched tropical rainforests, the divers finally hope to use 21st century technology to capture pictures of these dinosaurs of the deep.
John, I think we've got perfect conditions to try the scuba muffler. Yeah. I mean, the hammerheads are here, but they're wary like they so often are.
You know, yesterday I got close to him and you got close to him, and it seemed like every time you wanted to push a little bit and get closer, you'd have to exhaust, you'd have to exhale, and your bubbles would frighten them away. And I think this is going to be the answer. Let me show you how it works.
Great.
As I exhale through the mouthpiece here, the air is going to travel through this hose. It's going to go to this diffusion mechanism here. It's going to go through the filters. These filters here are going to make the bubbles smaller and quieter, and I think this is going to let us get closer to these animals, at least closer than we've been getting to them, you know?
Great. So let's do it.
All right.
At Budweiser Western, the anchor is dropped 100 yards from shore, and the three prepare for their last dive. The currents around Cocos are strong and unusually changeable. They can catch even the most experienced diver by surprise. Today, they expect the visibility to be more than 90 feet. But the swells are sizable. The new scuba mufflers are carefully attached to John and Marty's tanks. Only 2 have been built. Noreen will dive without one. £30,000 has been spent designing these 2 units, which will reduce 90% of the noise made by their regulators. Away from the undersea hunter, the Ponga takes them north, close to the shoreline, where Cocos reveals the opulence of her natural treasures. Here at the small peninsula of Colnet, they will make their final dive in search of the Hammerhead. The steep sides of the mountainous island plunge hundreds of feet to the shore. Despite years of experience, excitement mounts in anticipation of finally filming hammerheads up close. Muffler in tow, John encounters one of the island's frequent visitors, a bottlenose dolphin. John hopes the dolphin won't be alarmed, which will prove the muffler's ability to cloak the sound of the regulator. To his delight, these dolphins swim and play, seemingly oblivious to the diver's presence. Excited by this initial success with the dolphins, the three continue their cautious descent. They probe deeper, setting their course for the coral heads. Finally, a school of hammerheads, 30 or more, swims calmly near the divers. The experimental scuba muffler provides them with filming access to the sharks perhaps never obtained before. Little is known about the hammerhead. During the day, many will swim in schools of 100 fish or more. But why hammerheads swim in such numbers remains a mystery. The hammerheads don't need safety in numbers. They have no natural enemies. Like their white-tipped cousins, hammerheads seldom feed during the day. But at night, strangely, the schools disappear. Each shark swims away to feed on its own. In these schools, the males are greatly outnumbered by the females, who, like many sharks, produce living offspring rather than eggs. Their litters are large, occasionally numbering more than 40 pups. The young are born head first, with their hammer-like features folded back to make their passage into the world easier for them and their mother. Despite this knowledge, mating has never been observed. Though known to attack humans, these schooling sharks show no threatening behavior to the divers. Hammerheads feed mostly on fish and invertebrates, and are particularly partial to rays, especially the stingray. It seems the venomous poison of these rays has no effect on the hammerhead. When one 13-foot creature was caught off the South Carolina coast, the fishermen found 54 stingray spines embedded in its mouth. Most hammerheads are tropical, but every species, no matter how extensive its range, will migrate seasonally, swimming towards the poles in summer and to the equator in winter. But perhaps the greatest mystery of the hammerhead lies in the evolutionary reason for its hammer-like features.
There are a couple of theories about why a hammerhead's head is shaped the way it is. One is that the head gives it lift, somewhat like the wing of an airplane, so that it helps it become a more efficient swimmer. Another theory is that it spreads its sensory organs out to the extremities of the head, and it helps it receive stimulus and triangulate in on prey a little quicker, a little more accurately than if its sense organs were all bunched together.
The hammerhead shark is a creature of terrible ugliness, but to the divers, it is the most beautiful sight in the world. Here, beneath the cobalt blue expanse of Cocos Island, John McKenny has fulfilled a lifelong dream to continue his father's work. Dreams of buried gold have always drawn a wealth of fortune hunters to Cocos Island. But perhaps the real treasure is found beneath the surrounding seas in the untamed domain of the sharks of Pirate Island.
Coming up next, man-eaters of the wild.
In conjunction with Shark Week 95, Discovery has produced a free fact pack. Just send your name and address on a postcard to Shark Week Fact Pack, the Discovery Channel, P.O. Box 41, Ware, Hertfordshire, SG12 9EE. And remember, sharks are also available on CD-ROM at all good multimedia stockists.